Well, and I'm glad you were listening.
I'm ready.
I didn't know if it was just one-on-one, but evidently it wasn't.
Mike's on.
Mike's on. My mic is on.
We good?
That's the first I've turned my mic on.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
All right, we will call this Tuesday, May 19th meeting of the Lawrence County Board of Elections, our third meeting of the day, 3 for 3,
That's it.
to order. Sue, would you please call the roll?
Mr. Boyd,
Here.
Mr. Vogler,
Here?
Ms. Spielvogel.
Here.
All right, we have a quorum. I will pull up public comment. While I'm doing that, if my colleagues would like to look over the minutes, and as soon as I'm done pulling up public comment, we'll take a motion to approve.
I'll move for approval of the minutes as submitted, Mr. Chairman.
Okay.
I will second.
We have no public comment, and so we'll take the motion. We
Okay.
have a second. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, the same sign. Motion carries. All right. We'll move over to Director Allison for new business, polling relocations. Do we have anything new on the docket?
Pardon me, by next week, I hope to have a final version. We're actually still awaiting approval from the bankruptcy court in order to use the Tree of Life over in Everett City. There are individuals over there that are working on our behalf in order to do so, but we haven't got a final word there. So that may end up moving to a different location. We'll do the best we can with it. The personal protection equipment is.
Oh, forgive me, Mr. Chairman and Ed. Regarding the precinct in the borough of Elwood City that you just referenced, will you be kind enough, if you do get a resolution to that, if and when you do, could you let the three of us know? I will tell you, I know that this Friday, one or two of my colleagues are going to be involved in a telephone conference with the borough manager on another subject. And if you have a resolution by then, could you, because I may not be part of that phone call, but could you let them know that they might be able to advise him? I think letting the borough manager know would be very critical in this case, assuming my fellow members
Absolutely.
would agree with that. Thank you, Ed. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
All right, so we have no, right now, we have no further consolidations.
Not at this time.
Well, that's a relief. Personal protection plan.
Most of the items that we have ordered direct are here. The plexiglass barriers will be here by the 26th. The only thing that I don't have a delivery date for are the items that are supposedly coming from the Department of State. And we've not been able to get through to them yet today. But other than that, we will have as much as we can possibly protect our poll workers with.
Just to clarify, the items that are coming from the Department of State, those are items that cover 65% of our precincts, correct?
That is correct. And then we will fill in the gap.
So what happens, this is speculation, but in the event that those materials don't come through, what's our backup plan?
We'll be hustling to fill it.
Okay, at that point, we'll probably have to go up to public safety and steal some
Right,
money.
Yes.
right. You read my mind.
Okay,
Okay.
mail over.
I have prepared a package. I will be the first to say these things aren't cheap.
Offset it with the grant.
True. If you want to pass that
So
down.
it's not as bad as I thought it would be, considering all the other costs that we have to service election.
There's an outright purchase on the second page of 6164, which also covers 1 year's maintenance. This particular purchase order also conforms with the state contract. This is state pricing that Neopost / Quadient has, or There's also a 36-month lease program. Obviously, you're going to end up paying close to, well, you will be paying another $200 extra per month as opposed to the direct purchase. We've watched videos of this particular piece of equipment, and of course, it includes delivery, training, and all that business. This does not slice the envelope. This will chip off the very top edge at 0.01 inches so as not to damage anything inside the envelope. So we can actually run the outer envelope, because there's two of them, run the outer one through, pull out the secrecy envelopes, and we can actually turn around and run the secrecy envelope through them as well. They're running about 400 a minute.
Well, it sounds like just based on the volume that you're receiving of mail and absentees and all the other election materials you've been sent to the office, necessary purchase.
Well, even at that, and I thought about it, the mailings that go out from jury services,
Yes.
any other mass mailings, obviously it's a piece of equipment for the county.
Hmm.
So it can
That's
be
a
made
good point.
available for all.
Right.
Very good point. Forgive me, and I'm usually the slow guy here and I'll prove it. How does that differ from the device you were working on back in IT the other day?
That folds the papers.
Ah,
That will
okay,
fold and stuff,
Fold,
and it'll stuff
And
it
it'll-
too.
okay, okay.
okay,
Very good. Thank
There you
you.
go.
Thank you both.
I would be in favor.
okay. I didn't get to do that part. You holding out on me.
Yes, ma'am, slightly.
Because I did the shaker too.
Yeah,
Was that a new dance?
Well, it could be one of those, it could be an exercise. It actually, because the papers are, when you run them off, they're not together,
Right,
uniform, so
right.
this sort of shakes them, it's shaped like a paint shaker.
I got you.
Yes, so I did that, okay,
Interesting.
yes.
so on election night, we would take the ballots once they're prepared and flattened throughout the day, take them over, put them on the shaker,
The shaker,
and then we would take them over to the 450 at 8 o'clock and start running.
I'd be in favor of the purchase over the lease, assuming the maintenance on the purchase is, if we have any issues with it, they're gonna come in and fix it, right?
That is correct. And at that particular point, they're going to hold that pricing on the service contract or the servicing for the next 3 years. So there won't be an increase in that either.
Perfect.
okay.
Either you prefer the rental
Excellent.
option opposed to purchase?
No, it sounds like
I'd say
you're
purchase,
recommending
right.
purchase and the chairman.
I always recommend purchase because I hate to give anybody any more money than they should get.
I'm okay with that.
Well, then we'll take a motion to purchase the Armation 210 envelope opener.
Envelope opener, it's an envelope opener. It's an envelope opener. I'll tell you what, the terminology, the new verbiage, everything that
I think you'd be better reading the resolution. Take that one more.
is going on,
Exigent screwed me up with the
Exigent,
emergency document, the emergency
okay.
declaration.
yes.
I'll never live that one down. I also mispronounced the governor of Ohio's name on the news about a month ago.
That was accidental.
How do you mispronounce Michael?
No.
Jeez.
Oh, that's right. I told you. His name isn't Dwyer, and I'll just leave it at that.
Uh-oh,
That was bad.
okay.
Up by one letter.
I'm hoping it sounded like a skip over,
There you go.
but
Mhm.
anyway, I'll take a motion to purchase the envelope opener from Neo Post USA.
I'll make that motion. I will make that motion.
For a price
Right.
including maintenance, $6,164.
I will second.
Hearing a motion to second, is there any discussion? Hearing none, Sue, please call the roll.
Mr. Boyd,
Yes,
Mr. Vogler,
Yes.
Ms. Spielvogel.
Yes,
motion carries.
Thank you very much.
Enjoy your envelope.
we have an envelope opener.
Other related, anything else?
Yeah, I have one.
Okay,
I brought it with me.
Did you?
Yes.
oh,
That's fine.
This is the old format envelopes that we had. And so it kind of sparked one of the staff on it. And it has the proper sticker on it and so forth from a young lady who now actually lives in Rose City. And she properly filled out her ballot and returned it to us because it is dated May the 9th of 2020.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, it is for the general election of 2019.
Well, she tried.
She tried. She tried. And we have her canceled here. So if she did request a ballot, she would have had to request it from Mercer County for this upcoming primary. She's a resident of the nursing home there.
Oh,
So it would, I mean, it doesn't surprise me, but this is the kind of stuff we run into every once in a while.
wow.
Yeah, a ballot from 2019, that was
And
just
you
mailed
just
out.
got
Yeah,
No.
she's just catching up.
Better late than never.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
right? I mean,
We'll just let her vote twice at the next one.
No, come on.
That's gonna be in the paper. That'll be the headline.
oh my gosh.
Board of Elections
Oh,
votes to allow.
Now,
right?
One of the items that we need to make very, very clear, and a small display ad in the newspaper is probably going to be my best bet, as well as post it to the county's website, and whatever other media we can get. Maybe perhaps send a, see if we can get the WKST and whoever else to broadcast. Number one, we certainly want everyone to be masked when they come into the building, and we've made signs to be posted on the door that we strongly urge everyone coming in to wear a mask.
Into what, this building?
Go into
Precinct.
all the polling places,
Mhm.
yes.
Mhm.
Secondly, if you've requested and received a ballot, vote it and get it returned as soon as possible. Because if you plan on going to the polls, you cannot deliver the voted ballot there, it has to come here. If you decide that you don't want to use the mail-in ballot, when you go to the polls, you're going to have to use a provisional ballot. And then you will have to come in and supply proof of your identification within 6 days so that that ballot can be counted. Assuming that everything is in proper order.
Mhm.
It will slow the lines down without question. And right now I have 50 provisional ballots out to each precinct, 25 Dems and 25 reps. That's normal for us. And generally we don't use any.
Mhm.
I anticipate using a few, but we're going to have probably 15 to 20% turnout just in mail-in and absentees by the time we're done. But we're nowhere near that with ballots returned.
Mhm.
So I don't know what to expect at this point. So I've ordered another case of 8x14 green paper, so that if necessary, we can run ballots here and get them out to the polling place.
Mhm.
And we will do that as speedily as possible.
Okay.
But I do want to emphasize that if you have asked for a ballot, you've received it or will receive it, vote it and return it. We're going to figure out a way to put a drop box out front, knowing that only the individual who voted that ballot will return their ballot. Everything else has to go through the mail.
But again, I just want to note that mail-in and absentee ballot voting are as secure as humanly possible.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And I want to keep stressing that over and over and over again.
Oh,
There
absolutely.
is,
I have full confidence in the system that we're using. I know that we have replaced 4 ballots. Individuals don't quite know how to write addresses, so that if you use an apartment number as a second line in your address, it's never going to get delivered anywhere, because the post office only delivers to the line that's directly above the city and the state. And if all it says is apartment 3, it's done. You've got to be able to put the street address directly above and put apartment out here.
Mhm.
And so we've run into a couple of those. We've had ballots returned to us where individuals didn't put their apartment numbers on them. We've readdressed envelopes and sent them back out again. We have a young lady who is a traveling nurse, went out to Arizona. For whatever reason, she had her ballot delivered to her home. So we've replaced that one because it's nowhere to be seen. And so I've taken her at her word at this point. Once the ballots come back and once a ballot is recorded in our system, if the second one shows up, it won't matter. We'll count the first one.
You still only get one to
You still
count.
get one shot.
So, just to stress one more time, there is less chance for voter fraud by voting through mail or absentee than there is going to a precinct and voting in person.
That would be because you have to supply us with either the driver's license number
Mhm.
or the last four of the social on the application. That's correct.
And no party is trying to cheat the election through the use of mail-in or absentee ballots. That notion is absurd.
That is correct.
Correct.
Anything else for the
That's
board?
all I have, sir.
Thank you.
I'll note that I was
Of course
here
you will.
on Saturday. And our election workers, I was not here for nearly as long as our election workers were here, but I was here briefly. At the beginning of the year, knowing that the party registrations were close to coming, were close to breaking even and very close for the Republican Party to overtake the Democratic Party in terms of registrations, I had asked Director Allison to notify me the second that happened, because I would like to gloat
And he's doing it.
right now. And on Saturday, Director Allison came up to my office. He handed me 2 slips of paper. The first was a slip that's an update as to how many absentee ballots we've received, how many mail-in ballots we received, how many we processed, how many have been returned. And the second was a sheet of paper listing the number of voters affiliated with each party in Lawrence County. And I was very excited to see that the Republican Party, for the first time since I believe the 1970s, has overtaken the Democratic Party in terms of voter registrations. So we came, we saw, we conquered.
I guess you're saying that and it is, yes.
Are you going to give Commissioner Spillvogel equal time on this matter?
Yes, you may have a rebuttal.
And I have a rebuttal ready.
Is it printable?
I'm glad we had the discussion a little bit earlier so that it can be made public. First thing, it's nice that we can joke around and have the camaraderie that we do with it, knowing full well that some other counties may not. But I will say that I was made privy to information that, yes, for the first time in many years, that the Republican registrations are more than the Democrats. However, kudos to the Dems out there that at this point in time, is it correct to say that we as Democrats are returning our mail-in ballots at a faster pace than our Republican counterparts for Lawrence County?
Right now, the application's processed. The Democrats outnumber the Republicans in our county about 2 to 1. As far as
Okay.
being returned, I'm not sure about that.
I'm gonna go get them.
That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. However,
I'll cede
Yes.
that point.
Yeah.
But we still got you on the registration.
Yeah, yes, you do.
We just don't have it on the
Yes, you
votes
do.
yet.
We have to work through the summer. We have to work through the summer and the fall for the general election and see if we can pick up some ground. Or not lose any more, put it that way, right?
And just to
Yes.
be clear, like Loretta
Yes,
said,
oh my gosh.
we're just having fun.
Right. You have to fight, you have to get that stress relief some way, somehow, and it's good that we can do that,
Uh-huh.
yes.
We're beating them with the registrations, and they're kicking our asses
Yeah.
in mail-in and
the
absentee
amount,
ballots.
Yes. Yes.
But anyway,
Okay.
let's see if we have any more public comment. Doesn't look like we do. Any further comment from the board? Any questions for Director Allison?
We're good.
All right, in that case,
Okay.
I will take a motion to adjourn.
So moved?
Second.
Hearing a motion and a second, is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, the same sign. Motion carries. Lawrence County Board of Elections is adjourned, and we have no more meetings today.
There we go.
Public meetings.
Public meetings, yes. Thank you.
Mr. Allison,
Thank you.
I believe the controller's office would like to see you. It involves, you know what it involves.
I know.
Okay, thank you. 2:00, Jan.
Yes.